Okay, we're live here. We have one more place to set ourselves off, and then that's on Instagram. Greetings, 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 y'all. It has been a minute, then okay, we can hit go live. Okay, so we are now live on all of our platforms. Hey, what go on? TikTok, it seems like it has been a minute since I've been over in where I have to mute some. Get an echo. Okay. So I wonder if I don't know because I'm not used to going live on Instagram. If I mute myself on Instagram, can they hear me on Instagram? I don't know. Can somebody go to Instagram? Can somebody hey how you say it, Kruger? How are you? What going? All is very well. And we're gonna talk about it tonight. We're gonna talk about how coming together and effectively collaborating has pushed pi to a whole nother level and a whole nother dimension. And this is why I do what I do. And so I don't know. Somebody from my team, please go to Instagram and let me know. Wait, I gotta come over to. Can somebody go over to Instagram and see whether or not you can hear me on Instagram before I get started? I'm so not used to being on Instagram, y'all. Give me a minute. I really gonna have. It's just me tonight because I just want to talk to us about this effective collaboration. I asked the butterflies to just moderate today, so that we can just have this conversation. Because I hear a lot of people. I hear a lot of my sisters out here speaking scarcity. And so, hey, big little brother, I see you over there. Ravana, how are you? How are you? So, I don't even know where my Instagram went to. Now, let me do this little thing that Rajani showed me. Um, okay, I guess this is Instagram over here. Okay. Well, still getting used to this stuff, y'all. Forgive. Getting used to Instagram and being on Instagram. I'm not used to being on Instagram, y'all. So we're trying to figure out if they can actually hear me over there. It looks like it's delayed on Instagram. Okay, you can hear me loud and clear on YouTube. I see that message. Thank you, Rajani. Let me see if okay. But what about Instagram? Because I muted myself on Instagram because of the feedback. So that's why I'm concerned that maybe they won't be able to hear me. Let me see what I can do. Give me one moment, please. Give me one moment. This is really going to be a wonderful show. Um, okay, go back up again. Okay. I'm going to unmute myself. Let me see if I can't maybe turn the volume down. No, there's no option. Hmm. Wait, what if I turn? Can you still hear me on YouTube? Okay. Can you still hear me on YouTube? As soon as I get the yes from the YouTube channel. All right. All right. All right. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. I am Marike, and I am here to talk to y'all tonight about let's get this thing together as a people. Come on and some effective collaborating. Oh, Lord, hold on. Now what's going on? Now what's going on? Okay. I don't know what just happened. Sorry. I don't know what just happened to my screen. All right. Swear I'm ready this time. Okay. All right. Welcome to Pie Talks, everybody. Tonight we're going to talk about collaboration over competition. And although my topic is speaking to women of color, it always applies to our men as well. I just happen to be a woman in my whole program speaks to women, but when as a community, these are things that we can all put together. Okay, so brothers, please do not feel as though this is not for you. This is not a organization that we do not believe in working alongside of our brothers. It's just that our focus right now is on the women because we're single women. I'm a single woman. Okay. So I am Arike. For those that do not know me, I am the CEO and founder of PI, which stands for Purifications International Enterprise. Peace and blessings to all of you beautiful people. Welcome to another beautiful episode of Pi Talk, presented to you by us at Pi. And tonight we're going to dive into a conversation that is very essential to our healing. It's essential to our economic liberation and to our collective future. So, collaboration over competition. How Black women and Brown women rise when we actually take the time to build together. You know, for far too long, many of us have been taught to compete. Many of us have been heard, we're competing for the same seats at tables we didn't even build, right? When you're in corporate America. Or you know that we've heard it all along that we can't get along, so we can't work together. It's all it's all foolishness. It really is. Because what would happen if we actually stopped fighting over the little bit of crumbs and began building our own table? And that's what I did with pie. With pie, I realized that I was not an employee. I could not continue going to work, punching a clock, and having all these rules and having to sit in a cubicle. Like, I really could not do that. Um, I'm neurodivergent, and I couldn't do it. And my brain is constantly developing it and doing things, so it didn't work. And if our school systems were different and not created just to make employees, right? I probably should have been in a different type of school, more hands-on. And so, that's what I did, and I realized, yeah, I it's like, it's tiring trying to work for somebody else and realizing I'm still taking the bus. I still can't take a vacation or do things when I had 3 children. I've always having to ask permission, like, I don't ask permission for anything in my life. And all of a sudden now I gotta ask permission because I need this time off or I need to do this, and it was just like, not for me. And then I'm looking at the condition of our daughters, knowing that I've always been able to walk with our young daughters and to speak with them and encourage them in a way that actually changed their lives. And so in 2009, I left. See you later, corporate. I'm out of here. And I decided to build my own table. And so my question now is, because I know I'm not the only one, what would happen when the other visionary women come together and we begin to create infrastructure? We begin to create systems in businesses that actually produce real wealth, that produce real healing first, healing, then real wealth, and real impact back into our communities. So that's exactly what PI is here to do. So what is the problem? The problem isn't that we're not coming together, 'cause there are a lot of people that are collaborating. There are a lot of groups out here of people of color coming together and collaborating and doing things. However, one of the gaps that I still see is that we're doing it without an economic unity. And so many organizations talk about community. Many of them offer trainings. Many people teach each other what they need to know. But the one thing, after all the meetings, after all the Zoom calls, after all the social media posts, there's often no measurable economic outcome. No contracts, no partnerships, no revenue, no shared ownership, which means no return on investment. You know what I'm talking, going to meetings after meetings after meetings. I'm in a collaboration, and we're taking notes. They're having lecturer after lecturer after lecturer, and we're still taking notes, and we're having meeting after meeting after meeting, but we're not moving forward to where we're signing those contracts, learning how to share ownership so we can sign bigger contracts. So therefore, there's not a real ROI. But at Pi, we believe community without economic unity is unity that is incomplete. Love must be actionable. Healing must be sustainable. And collaboration must produce real results. So what collaboration really looks like? Because collaboration is more than just posting each other's pictures, flyers, reposting. It's more than just cheering each other on in comments. It's more than saying, "Let me know how to help," or "I'm in," or "I'm down," but that's it. True collaboration means that you're bringing your A game, and when you bring your A game, you're sharing resources, you're leveraging networks. In between the network, joint ventures are happening because we're building systems, and when we do that, we will begin to generate real revenue. When we do this, we begin to open doors for one another, and when we do that, measurable collective wins will begin to happen, because when one woman wins in this community, the entire ecosystem wins and becomes much stronger. So at Pi, it is more than a program, because our programs actually turn into projects that actually turn into profit. So at Pi, we're helping women move through 3 powerful stages, starting with number 1, always healing. Number 1, always being accountability, deprogramming, healing, becoming that container of truth and of true love. That's the first part of it. And then while we're doing it, the way that we do it, there also learning life skills, new skills. They're learning how to receive support. They're learning how to reset themselves so that they're over here bouncing and being triggered all over. The program then turns into a project as we start applying those skills to real world initiatives. And when we do that, it now becomes a profit because now we take those initiatives and we turn them into income streams and contracts and sustainable opportunities. So we're not here just to inspire people with lectures. We're not here just to sit and have conversation after meeting after meeting after meeting. Mm-mm. We're here to build for real. We're here to implement, and we're here to create measurable outcomes. And in order to do that, that means everybody's got to bring their A game. Collaboration means contribution. You can't sit on the sideline, avoid the work, but expect equal rewards, right? It's like that just dropped in my head, the little, old wives' tale of what do you call it? For the little kids with the hen making the bread, and nobody wanted to help make the bread. But when the bread came out, felt good, everybody wanted to sit down and eat. We're used to we're used to lopsided things like that because that's how the world operates. That's a lot of Western thought, but we have to remember who we are, and that's why we start with healing, real healing, bringing us back to who we are, bringing us back to our real culture of community, of circle, of elders alongside of those coming behind and those coming behind those, and having that circle of healing, that circle of remembering how we actually do things and not doing work like corporate because we're the visionaries. We shouldn't look like everybody else. What we're doing shouldn't feel like everybody else's because we're the visionaries. We're the ones that separated so that we could hear. We're the ones that have been writing the business plans. We're the ones that have been, pushed off from the 9 to 5 and been out here doing everything that we can to get our visions pushed through. And so now it's time to come together and understand that that person that you've been looking for that's gonna drive just as hard as you is probably another sister who's a CEO. It's gonna be another sister who's an entrepreneur or another sister who is so close to giving up her job and is ready and hungry because she knows she has more in her. And it's time for us to come together and understand it's more than just showing up to have conversation. It's about really bringing our A game together, showing up consistently, meeting the deadlines that we all know that need to be met for us to go forward. Everybody taking ownership of their part. All know what the issue is. Let's bring the solution and everybody supporting one another. Again, the woman that many of us are looking for are already leading organizations. They're already serving the community. And guess what? The majority of us a majority of them are doing it without any guaranteed funding. Those are the ones that you need. The ones that are doing it anyway, before the money gets there, because those are the ones that got the real heart. Those are the ones that got the real heart. Now, again, I'm not talking if you're established, that's different. I'm talking about sisters and brothers that are on the brink of breaking through because you know that you have something so dynamic and so needed in our community, but you're out there by yourself or it's just a small group. This is who I'm talking about. Coming together, drawing ourselves together, and creating the ecosystem. And that's why Pi exists. One of many reasons we exist. Purifications International exists to unite spiritually grounded, purpose-driven women who are ready to heal, who are ready to build, and who are ready to prosper together. Mhm. At Pi, we come together to support our women in developing businesses and nonprofit initiatives. We publish books and journals. We're launching healing retreats. We're training and certifying young women to become facilitators and peer mentors using our own information and no Western thought, coming from women that have lived it and walked it and breathed some of the most horrific traumas that we can think of as women of color. We have those that have been trafficked. We have those that come out of addiction. We have those that been incarcerated. We have those that have graduated summa cum laude. We have those that are in every sect of religion because here it's about your character, not your title or your label. And together we're building multiple income streams. Mhm. And together we're creating not just something in our local community, but we've branched all throughout the globe and now internationally. So our vision and the reason I keep coming on is to share because we've made it through another portal. I don't know what else to call it. Another level of success is opening. The doors wide open for us right now. We're walking through. But the collective vision is to show my community how we can do it together. So rather go through the door and then come back and sell books. No, I'm saying, no, no, no. Let me show you where I'm at and let you show you how we can enhance one another and we can go forward together. Because what our community needs is more than just one organization. What our community needs is a spirit-led mindset of abundance as well. So let me say this, as spiritually led women, I understand that there's 2 systems operating, right? You have the world system and you have the spiritual system. The world may say, "Hey, there's scarcity." The world may say resources are limited. The world may say there just isn't enough. I want you to know something. I don't serve the world. I'm not in the world system. I know my source, and my source is from the divine. And my source is connected to everything I need. And I don't say that cliche. I don't say that just to be I know because I've been living with my source since I left corporate America in 2009. And though roads got rocky and stuff, it wasn't because of my calling or anything. It took me time to finally understand, because that's part of the process. When you're doing something that's truly from divinity, you have to go through a process. See, we're so used to this turn around and tell your neighbor and this and that, and these temporary fixes that don't require us to actually be accountable to the spiritual system that we say that we believe. Because once you start to get serious and understand in your strength and your help is not of this world, and you start to source into that, baby, you can't tell me I don't have what I need. When we remove colonial mindsets and we stop speaking lack over our lives, when we stop saying things like there's not enough, oh, funding is too hard, no one supports me, or I can't afford it, or I'm broke, or there's no money. No. Instead, I want you to start declaring, like I do, there's more than enough for me. Money is not an issue. Money is not an issue. Go on, say it with me. There is more than enough for me. And when we learn to really come together, imagine, just imagine, and I'm not talking about just women who are just out here because they have a program and they try to make a name for themselves. I'm talking about real spiritually led women that have been in the wilderness, that have gone through their purification, that understand that what they were giving is not because they're trying to be a guru, but because it is your divine assignment. And our community needs what we have in order to bring some restoration to our daughters. This isn't about a photo op. This isn't about trying to make a name for yourself and people can say, "Oh, this and that." No, because no, no, no. This is about coming together and finally saying, "Sis, I see you, and what you have works very well with what I have." And then when we put it together, it now opens the door for greater grant opportunities. It opens the door for less overhead, when we can co-host things together because there's no competition between us. Knowing that each and every one of us are standing in our right divine place. It's not about accolades. It's not about hierarchy. Somebody's higher than the other person. We're all healers. We all have a piece of the pie. It's about coming together now and saying, hey, I have this part. For example, I just signed my first 2-year contract with an organization doing exactly what I'm talking about. Although they have a program where they work with the young women as far as their conduct and personality and personal development and professional development. Although they have that, now that we're partnering, she's putting that down. Why? Because I have the stronger when it comes to that. I have the stronger backing. I have the classes, I have the school, I have the girls behind me for years. I've got the strongest hand. Now, in my organization, we do gardening, and they learn, herbs and tinctures and all these things to help heal themselves. But guess what? My sister, who I just partnered with, who's Native American, all of that, and I said, "Sis, I yield. I'll take that down from my program and put you up because you have the stronger hand." So now when we write, everybody got their A game, and now we present. Now we present. Now we go after the things that we need to go after, and not only that, but now we're not just touching one area. Now we're not just in one neighborhood, mhm, going from just a nonprofit program to a nonprofit ecosystem. Mhm. Everybody working together to cross promote, everybody working together on the sponsorship packages, everybody working together on the events, the fundraise, everybody bringing their A game, because this is how ecosystems are built. This is how communities become economically empowered. This is how we build generational wealth because we're starting high, starts at 18 and over. However, my sister has, they start at 60. So guess what? That's their responsibility, but we still bring the programs. So we still bring the program, but them girls are under your responsibility. I'm just coming in with the program because that's what you do. I don't do minors. Did minors, stopped doing minors after I had my first healing home, and I lived with some minors. Said, "No, we won't do that again," 'cause we learn, right? So anyways, I just wanna say this, stay tuned, y'all, 'cause over the next couple of weeks, I will begin sharing actionable goals. You'll be able to see me out with the young ladies, see what it is that we do as we're building with them and getting them ready to write their first book, because we're also doing legacy he we're teaching out how to give up giving back our voice and showing them how to do that. You'll see me and my partners doing things and moving things through the community. You'll see me sharing with these young women vision, strategy, implementation, and revenue, because we don't do anything but bring our A game, and we ask that the women who are ready to do the same. Women who are ready to heal in a circle that is not like any other circle, and I can say that wholeheartedly and full-heartedly, because here on what 2 weeks ago, you seen butterflies from every spiritual sect, and most places a lot of places don't do that. You have to believe exactly how they believe or you're not getting in. At Pi, we don't do labels. We do morals and character, and we hold each other accountable for what you say that you believe, you know? And New Orleans are trying to put me in jail for my gift from God, warrant and all, and need your help. Um, I would say, sis, DM me and, yeah, DM me. I can't guarantee that I can help you, but if you DM me, I can definitely we can talk it out and figure out what it is that you need, and I'll see what we can go from there, okay? So, again, we're just looking for our sisters who are ready to work together, because as you see what my sister saying, there's so many of us hurting. She's all the way in New Orleans, I'm in Massachusetts. Do you understand why we need the ecosystem? Why we need the national healing system? And the only way to do that, that I know how to do that, is to begin to work together, because we'll weed out those that are not gonna participate. I will tell you right now, they will not be able to stand in this, because this is so spiritual first. And back to that, last couple of weeks ago, I had the girls on. One was from the Moorish community, one was from Ifa, which is African traditional, one was Christian. You know what I'm saying? And so we don't we don't debate, we look at character and the moral standard of how we conduct ourselves as women. Do you know how to conduct yourself as a woman? Or is what you see in society what you think being a Black woman is? In every what I call our tribes, each woman that subscribed to a tribe has a higher level of moral conduct if she's accountable. So in Pi, when you come in, we don't have any teachings on spirituality at all. But what we do teach somatic healing, we teach about our triggers, we go through things and we talk about everything just as women and things that we're dealing with just as women. And then we implement healing tools. And then you take all that information back to wherever you feel comfortable, wherever your spirit leads you, you go back there and you apply it. Because if you apply the stillness, if you apply the things that the somatic and getting rid of the trauma that we all carry, and you get rid of that and you begin to heal, and you're doing that in community around other women who are walking toward their highest spiritual good, you're not gonna find women that are gonna backbite. You're not gonna find women that are gonna try to set you up and talk about you and do clicks with inside the click and all the other stuff that we've all been through. When sometimes we think that we're walking into a healing group only to be rehurt, only to be reharmed. Listen, I've been through all of that. So when I was creating this organization, I took everything that I learned from the hurt, from the pain, and from all my sisters when I walked into places that should have embraced me, that been able to see that there was more to me. And whether it be for jealousy or whatever the reason, didn't return the love. I said, note that. When you start yours, don't ever allow them to come in and do that. This is about real accountability over here, not to what I believe, but to what you say you believe. Because after 30 years of doing this and all the success that I have, I'm not attached to one tribe. That's why girls can come from everywhere, and I know that I can sit and listen to everybody. I don't It does not bother me if you come to me and say, "Well, I'm Kemetic." Well, good for you. Are you following the laws of Ma'at? Do you know the 42 laws? Talk to me. If you say that you're Hebrew, okay, are you following the statutes, laws, and commandments? Or are you New Testament or Old Testament? Which one are you? Tell me you're Christian, okay. Are you following scripture? You see, it doesn't matter when the girls come to me and say, "Well, Mr. Rike, what do you feel about this?" And I said, "I know what I feel about it. What is your belief? What is it that you subscribe to? Go back there because it's time to get our conduct together because this is one of the things we've gotten away with living lukewarm in any old kind of way and steady calling it spiritual. And at pie, it's not about somebody else. At pie, it's not about pointing the finger outward or trying to make somebody believe something. No, it's all internal first. Because once you do that, I'm trying to tell y'all, and you really get what true love, you don't have an argument for your brother or your sister. You can see another spiritual person. And I think a lot of it too is because we don't sit down and actually reason together. We regurgitate what we hear about one another. But if you actually sit down, not to debate, but to simply listen, you start to realize, wow, we have more things in common. We have a lot more similarities than differences. And we've wasted a whole lot of time because the ones that are really full of darkness that are hurting all of us in all of our communities are not each other. I don't know of any Moorish, Hebrew, Rasta, Christian, well, I can't say Christians because white evangelicals, let me say that. Um, yeah, the truth is what the truth is. The white evangelicals are the most demonic that we're seeing. They've always been. Not everybody, but the most of them, like this is the Epstein, the island, right? These are those people. Those are those people that were having church while our ancestors were downstairs in the dungeons. Like that's the wickedness. That's the wickedness. I don't know anybody that sex traffic, I don't know what I can say, but you know what I'm saying, but that's saying our children in these communities. And it's not that we're all perfect, because I am quite sure we have some in some of these communities of foolishness going on. In fact, matter of fact, I know we do. I mean, just to put it out there, I know we do. Now, the more that I'm talking about, the more I'm thinking about, I'm like, because of the work that I do, women constantly have called me in my past for domestic violence and things that they were going through. And I've got calls from women in almost every sect, except for the ones that I don't have girlfriends, friends in. So, anyways, it's neither here nor there. I've gotten off track, and I apologize for that. Let's get back to the positivity here. The positive is pie is about building, okay? It's about collaborating. I am I am a collaborator. I am one that is connected, to the divine abundance, and I'm now in place to receive that, and there's more than enough. There's more than enough for me, there's more than enough for you, there's more than enough for us when we begin to build and when we begin to put our spiritual ear and our spiritual eye for doing things in the world system and in the world way. So, if this message resonates with you, I invite you to follow, at Pi Purifications, um, online at purifications.com is our website. Share my information with other visionaries that you know. You can DM me. I can send you a form that you can fill out. We also have True Love's Tribe. True Love's Tribe is a place that is being built on in every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's for those that pour out into the community, but don't really have a tribe or have anybody pouring back into them. We invite you to come on out. Again, me, I'll send you the Zoom link. We don't do any teaching. This is all straight somatic healing. Um, Everybody gets a chance to do because we're all healers, we're all leaders. So it won't be just you coming and just me. No. To get to know me is to know I am truly about community. I am truly about having the table, it's built. Now come and bring your butts and the seat for you. There is a seat for you. I am waiting for you. Namaste, sister. Namaste. Okay. So, it's time for us to build together. Thank you for the flowers, sis. It is absolutely time for us to build together. And definitely joy when you see me come on. Know that I talk about I talk about economics, I talk about sovereignty, because here's the main reason why this, why I'm bringing my piece of the pie out to the front center of my community is, I forgot. Oh my goodness. I'm like, "Where did it go?" Anyways, y'all know, I'm bringing this out to the community. It's time. It is. It's just time. And I don't know what I was getting ready to say, but it is time for us to come together. And, yeah, one of the reasons why I'm bringing it to the community because it's absolutely time for us to come together and for us to that know that we have it. And it's not performative over here. I'm here for you too, sis, you know. It's not performative over here. It is really about the True Love's Tribe is really about for the True Love's Tribe, it's not so much for those that are still hurting and still seeking, um, the True Love's Tribe is actually for those that are pouring out, those that have already been through the purification process and are pouring out into the community and require a community that is not going to hurt them, endanger them, but you've been in your own silo because you're like, "I'd rather do it by myself than try to do one more time with a group of sisters. I'd rather be over here by myself." Like, that is who the True Love Tribe is for. Sisters, it is time to come out of your silo. I'm coming out of mine. That's what I'm coming out of mine so that you can come out of yours, because I guarantee you this, when the spiritual women come together, and then the brothers as well, but I tell you, I start with the singles because that's where I am, but when the spiritual come together, not to debate, not to degrade, not to hurt, not to try to make a name for themselves, but coming together in unison, in one breath, with one desire, and that is to be used as a container to go back into the community and to start to bring restoration and true healing to our community. And in the meantime, while we're doing that and rejuvenating one another and giving each other that synergy of real love, true love, and getting to know each other and build and walk with each other, our organizations will get stronger and stronger. And then we'll be able to come together and create that national ecosystem of healing that our community truly needs. Because what our community needs right now is not another program that is just out here trying to get a check, somebody trying to make a name for themselves. Our community needs what we have, sisters, and that is true love. Because true moves different. True love does not move via the world system of love, which at pi we call pseudo love because that's what it is. And this is another reason why we can walk with anybody who's truly connected to true love, the root, because your character is different and you're not here to bring harm. Because when you're connected to true love, you just don't. You just don't. We're not perfect. But when things come up, we learn how to walk through it in a positive way rather than burning the house down because we know we've all been through some type of traumas, right? So true love tribe is for those that have walked it out, been here, got vision, and need to come out of their silos. Pie is for those women that still need, that are searching, that might still be broken, um, and just don't know, and just still working through some real things, and they need that circle. And this is why True Love's Tribe is so important that we fill ourselves back up so that we can go and fill our sisters until they can come on up to True Love's Tribe as well. Because our community needs true love. True love is powerful. It changes lives. True love is powerful. It transforms lives. And so come get introduced to true love. Come walk and work in a circle where the foundation is true love. Because our community needs us. Our daughters are being over influenced, hypersexualized, adultif- adultified at earlier ages, and none of us are winning. For those that want to keep debating, oh, we're this and we're that, and you're stupid because none of us are winning. Let's finish the race. And in order to finish the race, we have to heal. In order to heal, we have to remember who we are. Because I hate to have to bust your bubble, but you are not American. You are not American. What is in your DNA is not American blood. And in order for us to heal, we have to decolonize and remember that we had our own ways. And we come from a civilization that was far advanced. And so the first thing we have to do is decolonize and understand. I know we've been here in generation, but the truth of the matter is we've never made it to freedom. We assimilated, and it has not worked out for our good. It has not worked out. So now we must finish the race. In order to do that, those that can hear must come together. And let's go get what belongs to us. And when we come together, we strengthen one another. That strength is our community. And then when we go up for the funding, it puts us in a better position. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for being with me. Ashe. Amen. and all of those wonderful, beautiful salutations and blessings. Again, I am Arika, and I'm the CEO and founder of Pi Purifications International, and we are more than a program. We are community restoration specialists. Yeah, we are about infrastructure and ecosystems so that we can go forward and start getting some real funding, which is our spoils. Okay, y'all, until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful evening from my heart to yours. See you later.